Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This is Game 3 of the After Hours Gaming League. Microsoft versus Dropbox. A lot of pressure on everybody's favorite risky vegetable, Dareonion, in the upper right-hand corner as the blue Terran, aka Dareonion. And this is on Tal Darim Altar, which I think is a very strong Zerg map. His opponent will be Aristotle, considering how much I butchered Cicero prior. I should probably call him something like Aristotle, something like that. The original hipster philosopher, followed Plato before it was cool. Also, reading his profile page, there's some correlation. I think it's the inner Zerg rage, where when a Zerg player complains about the imbalances that plague his race, he just has some inner innate ability to harness that rage and be an excellent Zerg player. So I have faith in him, actually, to just have a really strong showing on this match. Tal Darim Altar statistically greatly favors Zerg. I think it's because it's just got an easy natural expansion and a nearby third, connected by creep, and you're solid. I feel like Terran, their success can be measured almost directly to their Hellion count on this map, and how successfully they can sneak it in, do damage that way. Looks like Dareonion trying to seal his front door. Already has a SCV in a position to do so. Drone immediately scouting, and he needs to pull an SCV rapidly because it looks like he's already taking damage. And actually that drone might have an opportunity to get a kill here if he's sneaky enough. Moving the way around. Looks like nope, not going to happen this time. Drone instead going to push up, try to do some scouting. Dareonion is grabbing gas here. That's a good sign. Opposite corner, we have a 15 hatchery, it looks like. That natural expansion where it might have been harassed. I think Dareonion might have been a little bit distracted by the harassment happening on his front door, so not going to be able to stall that hatchery, which he needs to do. You need to slow down that Zerg economy, particularly on a map with features like this one. Tal Darim Altar. Gas Steal. Going to try to force Dareonion to push away from Banshee play, away from mass mech early. Try to pattern him more towards a low gas, more mineral heavy build, which might be Hellions. We'll see. Again, I'm hoping we'll see that from Dareonion. Natural expansion about halfway there. We do have a spawning pool in production. It itself is about halfway up there. There's the orbital command. Drone pinned in the base, but has forfeited his life for the greater good here. Actually, is that a second drone that snuck in, or is this just a pending? Yeah, that's just a pending build. Vespin Geyser. It looks like it was just canceled initially. If Dareonion was going to take this extractor at this stage, this build has been greatly delayed. And really what Aristotle's done is he's just forced no Banshees and kind of these pattern things. I'm not sure that the second extractor grab and the cost of the minerals is truly worth it here, but in the meantime, he's grabbing an extractor himself. Natural expansion up, and we do have a factory in the middle of Dareonion's base. Looks like he's also grabbing an additional gas. So really wanting to press that factory tech. And if he's going for super late Banshees, I worry a bit about the ability to effectively do so. I'm hoping this tech lab is in fact for Blue Flame Hellions. We do have 3 harvesters in that gas. Interestingly enough, Queen about halfway finished. It's being built at the natural expansion. Feels a bit late. And a spine crawler preventatively just in case some Marines were attacking the front door, something along those lines. Looks like we are seeing a stim pack upgrade. There's that factory. So we're not going to see a switch here. In fact, we're going to see a reactor initially on this factory, which gives me hope. But my curiosity now is, what is Dareonion going to do with all of this gas that he's mining? The reactor suggests Hellions. The stim pack upgrade suggests Marine combat shields, something along those lines. And we have a command center as well. Perhaps this is one of those stages, where he's really not going to be able to utilize all of that gas unless he was grabbing a second factory, or he had some additional barracks from Tech Labs pumping Marauders. That could hurt him over the long term. Again, he needs to do whatever he can to slow Aristotle down and that rising drone count. Speaking of which, 25 harvesters to 22 already. Aristotle really pumping that economy, doing an excellent job of doing so. Looks like he has Zergling speed and he's pumping a lot of drones. As far as flat units out in the field, though, he's only got a single Zergling wandering out there someplace. Not even sure where it's located. Marine does have control. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so cute, hanging out near that natural expansion, so I can do some scouting, being very effective. Unfortunately for Dareonion here, it looks like he's also supply capped himself in the midst of all of this tech and trying to take that command center simultaneously. You can see that gas count rising. So taking this late supply depot, he's been at 27 out of 27 supply for quite some time. That's going to slow down these Hellions on top of everything else. So Dareonion in a difficult situation here. Aristotle, in the meantime, already has 2 spine crawlers on his front door, and it looks like he's going to place an evolution chamber as well. That'll help inhibit that Hellion movement. So Dareonion is, yeah, he's got his work cut out for him. And Aristotle, economically, already at 40 harvested, wow, compared to 23 SCVs. The opposite side for Dareonion. Baneling Nest almost finished as well. Starting to produce a handful of Zerglings. Looks like a Starport Barracks. Dareonion not completely out of this, but he's definitely not in a good situation. It's Aristotle's game to lose here. Stimpack just finishing Engineering Bay up, but just looking at the units that are flat out on the board for Dareonion, looks like a Zergling. Sneaky, that was the cute one on the corner, just running up, checking out what he can. 7 Marines, 1 Hellion, and basically 2 Banelings that are well placed. Even 1 Baneling, if it got lucky, would be able to kill the entirety of that army. Layer Tech, in the meantime, is almost finished for Aristotle. An Overlord is going to sneak on that corner to get a good look at that tech. Starport silent. A lot of gas running here for Dareonion. He's just not able to utilize it. He does have map vision here, at least working for him at the 9 o'clock location. And it looks like he is going to be able to hold it because he's Zerglings not finding anything. Aristotle looking like he's going to just play it carefully, passively, going to take his third. And I love this building placement. Really sharp. Once again, the Hellions, if they do come, are still going to have difficulty. And he's still thinking about that really strong option, Zergling getting fried, as these 3 Hellions are now moving up. Keep in mind, they're not Blue Flame upgraded. So they're still going to have some difficulty pushing through here. 2 spine crawlers, hatchery, evolution chamber, all sorts of stuff blockading this front door. And we have Banelings morphing out in the field. Looks like here on that corner, just in case. And maybe they don't have the centrifugal hook upgrade, so these Hellions might be able to take them out. And that would be a pretty decent win for Dareonion. He has that orbital command inside of his main. In the meantime, working that economy that way. Spire about halfway finished, but wow, Aristotle's economy is absolutely rolling. He's playing Zerg and Zerg style. Has to be concerned though, because I know he's frustrated with Terran, and Dareonion supply capping himself again. Very difficult situation for him. Level 1 weapons on the way, getting nothing out of that Hellion attack. Wasn't even going to waste the units, which is probably wise here. Still working on basically a whole bunch of units that will get crushed by Banelings, and on top of that, he's only got 9 Marines to deal with what could be basically 9 Mutalisks, depending on Larva, when the Spire finishes, because yeah, 900 minerals, 900 gas, and that's going to be very, very difficult for Dareonion to deal with. On top of that, he's going to end up losing map control. Aristotle could basically double expand in the position that Dareonion's in currently. Dareonion getting a tech lab on that barracks. I'm not sure what he's planning on switching to. Maybe he's going to do a factory switch right there. Looks like the Hellions are getting handled in the middle of the map by those Zerglings. Crushed. And right now, Dareonion just doesn't have an option to really go and do any damage to Aristotle, and Aristotle is just running away with this. So many Harvesters. And what I really worry about is the Mutalisks. There's all the Mutalisks hatching right now. This is where you're going to see a big shift for Dareonion. He's moving out with Marines, but he doesn't have medevac support. These are not combat shield upgraded. They do have Stimpack. They will have Weapons 1, which will help somewhat, but still the Marine composition versus just flat Zergling Mutalisks in these numbers, it is very, very difficult for Dareonion to cope. Even holding his natural expansion at this stage will be somewhat difficult. Mutalisks starting to flood forward, only 5 of them in that grouping. There will be more to follow. It looks like there's 6 total. Maybe there's 6 in there. Yeah, I just misclicked. There's going to be 6 total, and they're going to see that starport, maybe even be able to tack it down. See if they can tempt some Marines out. At the very least, this SCV line completely exposed, and that's going to hurt Dareonion's economy even further. Hellions attacking. You can't attack air, silly Hellions. No, flee. That is called being all on one control group. And now the Marines starting to move this direction. You can see, yeah, Aristotle feeling it. And he's like, okay, I've got absolute map control. I've got a bunch of Mutalisks swarming in. I've got a huge economy. I'm just going to expand twice to the bottom left-hand corner and let my Mutalisks do my, I don't want to say talking, more like blah, 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 blowing, you know, whatever Zerg do. When, you know, whatever floats their boat, random grunts and curls and snarls at each other. Dareonion's best shot in this match, actually, is just to gather up what he has, hope that these Mutalisks get out of position, send in all of the Hellions and Marauders first, and hope he has enough Marines left over to take care of the Mutalisks afterwards, and kind of a daring all-in attack with all of his SCVs and whatnot. Looks like the Mutalisks are gathering to the north to dive in once again. Starport extremely vulnerable. SCVs still vulnerable. Nothing to defend that back line. It looks like he's going to lose that reactor. Ooh, that's going to shut down that medevac production, which is, again, something he needs to help deal with these Mutalisks. Looks like the Mutalisks continuing, well, getting chased back a little bit, but this is, again, allowing more time for Aristotle to expand, and it looks like he's already transferring a handful of drones that direction. It's sitting very pretty at 57 harvesters, and it has a lot of supply over Dareonion. Dareonion, oof, almost losing a siege tank there even, and it looks like some Marines getting picked off in small numbers at the very least. More Mutalisks gathering up, looking for their opportunity to strike. Oh man, and look at this big Zergling force starting to build up underneath. I'm waiting for those to just morph as a collective group into Banelings. Mules continuing to pick away at what they can. Taking down that turret. Might be able to just group attack this starport now. Looks like the Marines are starting to move their way that direction. Going to be able to chase it off, fortunately. Dareonion has snuck some Hellions through, and they will have an open shot at these bottom of hand expansions, but I'm not sure that he even knows they exist. Could do some damage there. Cycling around, going to be able to slow down Dareonion again, taking out this gas. And I like how Aristotle's being very careful, very precise about this. Or sorry, Aristotle, yeah, he's just picking Dareonion apart bit by bit. All these poor Hellions. Wow, they got one shot off and then exploded. Incredible. Dareonion, it looks like he's moving up for a large attack, feeling a little bit desperate. Probably should have had this a while ago. Currently at 152 supply to 89. No one involved there. A lot of Mules to the north. Can swing around, do all sorts of damage. I think almost this Zergling composition alone. But, oh, might get an opportunity as Banelings are morphing in. Let's see if these Mutalisks go and provide some delay. Might be able to pick off that siege tank as it's lagging behind. Some Zerglings on this Sunlight Watchtower are most certainly going to die. But Banelings there, they have centrifugal hooks. They're very mobile. Mutalisks from behind, just a 1-2 crunch. And Dareonion's army is going to be out of this. Looks like he's trying to manage to catch a Mutalisk right there. Aristotle being so patient with this approach. Very, very patient. Now swinging around, able to pick off both Medivacs. Well, actually one. Second one, a little bit weak. And the siege tank going to try to siege up on the low ground, use the drop, use that for spawning. Needs to save that Medivac, though. And here come the Zerglings, the Banelings, trailing as well. Oh, my goodness. The Banelings actually not able to get past the Zerglings. The Zerglings just going to clean everything up. That's it. Dareonion has that siege tank doing a lot of damage because it's pinned to that corner. And as a result, the Zerglings couldn't get full surround. But in the meantime, front door wide open. NATO calling for a leave from Will. I think is... and they're... actually, never mind. Probably lagged for dyslexic. Oh, yeah. Dyslexic. Oh, my goodness. Dareonion getting crushed. Banelings all over the natural expansion with their Zergling compatriots. I think that is all she wrote. Yeah, that's GG. Microsoft 3-0 sweep over Dropbox. And I gotta say, kudos to Dropbox. It was great commentating you guys, Microsoft. It was good commentating you as well. Everybody, Twitter, Zynga, who did I miss? Facebook, all of you guys. Congrats. Thanks for doing this for charity. Everybody, if you want to check out more information or get involved, afterhoursgaming.tv. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.